So this video is about advice on dealing with compulsions. Okay? Many people have compulsions: compulsive gambling, compulsive sexual activity, compulsive drinking, compulsive behaviors. And just to clarify what a compulsion is, the best way I can put it without just having to go by the DSMV psychological or psychology manual, I'm just gonna, from my own experiences of dealing with my own personal compulsions in my life, which is greatly resolved, but still comes up sometime with little triggers. Compulsion is basically how a compulsion starts is usually there is pleasure towards a particular thing, right? So there's the reward centers, there's the excitement, there's the dopamine rush, maybe a little serotonin in there, things that, feel good. But usually with most compulsions is connected to something negative, where even if when you first indulge in those things, it was harmless, it was just being a part of human, exploring a pleasure, something that was pleasurable to you. And then somewhere along the line, a conflict happened where there's some shame or guilt or repression saying, no, 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 I'm not supposed to do this. Not supposed to do this. No, 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 no. That's the foundation of how compulsions start. Okay? You have this guilt or the shame, a disappointment in your lack of will. Like, no, no, I'm not supposed to. The resistance, persist. That is basically what compulsions is connected to, the persist factor. And some other things I can throw in there about the nature of compulsions. Whatever activity that you originally explored and found pleasure in, whether it's alcohol, sex, certain behaviors, whatever it is, it was usually it's usually connected to some type of trying to numb some type of pain, or something, and kind of sedate you, kind of like a self-medicating kind of thing. Okay, so 90% chance whatever you're dealing with of compulsive nature, connected to a compulsive nature, is not something good for you. Okay, because things that, and I hate to use the, what's good or what's bad. When I say what's good or what's bad, we know in this third dimensional earth realm where we perceive things fragmented without seeing the whole, we label things up, down, left, right, good, bad, hot, cold. But in a more holistic or wholeness of reality, there's just a oneness, and then there's different degrees of scales. Like, I don't want to lose y'all, but stay with me. A thermometer, right? You look at a thermometer. You move more to the right, it's more hot. You move more to the left, right? Things become more cold. So when it moves more to the left, that just means it's the absence of hotness. More to the right, the absence of coldness, getting more hotter. So it's best when you are on the healing path to start to try to look at things like that, from that perspective. Okay, so I just want to clarify um, that, and when I say good or bad, I mean in a subjective sense, on if something is good for you, or within if it's bad. A huge amount of the times, you can't deny, downing a fifth of alcohol every Friday is bad for you because you wake up, you feel like shit. You can't deny that if you have a sexual addiction, that you got paid $650 after the weekend, you're down to only 250 because where the other 400 went towards some escorts or something like that, or some sexual fetish services and stuff. So we can't lie to ourselves on whether we know something on a subjective level is good or bad for us, not for anyone else, not anybody else's opinion. You think I should be doing this, and is it really bad in the eyes of the world? No, for you. Okay, so as I said earlier, all right. Well, when I started out the video, I said my advice, because this is the main reason for this video. My advice on dealing with a compulsion is this: you must start to get into the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present with whatever emotions that come up. Mindfulness can be implemented even when you washing the dishes or taking a walk, feeling each step. Most of the time, when we do activities in life, we are kind of like oscillating back and forth between being conscious and unconscious. So, as the Buddhist practice goal of mindfulness is, say like you drive your car every day, right? Most people, when you first start out, you was like full senses. You looking to the left, or that big truck next to me. You're like, okay, wait, what I do again? I step on the right pedal. I slow down on the left. Your senses was fully activated because of the possibility of an accident or danger or something like that. But after a while, after 6 months, you was cruising down the highway with a cup of coffee in your hand, your headset, talking about what you did on the weekend. And it's almost like you don't even need to think. Things are just automatic. So this is a good thing in life, right? It's a hack in nature, so that we don't have to every day remember, wait, would I step on the pedal again? I go right, right. But however, this convenience in nature also has something which is detrimental. Um, Let me not say detrimental, something that is annoying, and the reason most of us are binded by habits, addictions, patterns, because things remain on autopilot. Okay, so let me get back on track. So mindfulness, the practice of that, of just being mindful whatever activities you're doing, before you react how you normally react to situations. Pause. Pause for about 10 seconds. Maybe take a few deep breaths. And the best thing you can do is actually get out of your head, because compulsions exist in the energy field of your body, the nervous system, but it's more in the head space. It's thinking, thinking, thinking. No, I don't know. Should I? That's the right. So if you get out of your head and get into your body, and even when the compulsive energy is coming up, and the frustration and the different emotions, the yes, no, I don't know, I should stop and feel what's going on within your body. A lot of people who is not used to really feeling, being in their head too much, it may take a couple of months to start getting used to it. But after a while, once you get start practicing feeling in the body, you'll feel like waves. You'll feel like little waves in the heart regions, sometime in the solar plexus. You'll feel like a nervous kind of wave going through the body. And it's good to stay with that. And even when you're staying with that, you're not trying to like get rid of it. You're just observing it. Because when you bring full consciousness into normally what those things were, which was unconscious, then it's like shining light into a dark space. And this is the way that you start to to loosen up those autopilot programs of even the compulsions, right? Because in compulsions usually is like a trigger, emotional, mental triggers. Then you go into this type of thinking, and then it's the predictable behavior, whether you pick up that bottle or you don't pick up that bottle, you resist it. Even if you resist it and you win with willpower, it's still something going on that's like in your headspace, and so you don't really ever you don't defeat the compulsion like that because it will come back. Just whether you give into something or you don't, the the beginning of starting to dissolve, that's a better word instead of defeat, dissolve that compulsion is to start, like I said, remaining within the body. Ideally, if you're in a space where it's private, or even if it's a bus ride in your home, the park, where you can close your eyes and just even watch your breath. Because breath is actually a more gross form of mind energy. So, and mind is a more subtle energy than the breath. And what's more subtle than mind is other planes of existence, like pure consciousness. Okay. So, by watching the breath, you immediately start to disidentify with mental energies. All right. And because trying to, this is the point I want to bring home. And it's perfect because I got to end this in 15 minutes, 2 more minutes. Trying to wrestle with a compulsion is like trying to grab air. If you try to wrestle with it through the mind space, it's like trying to grab fleeting air. It just keep like grabbing smoke. You have to, more tangible is the body, more tangible is the breath. And this is the way that you'll start um, bringing consciousness into that compulsive energy. Get out of the bad, the good, if it's right or wrong, judging yourself. And one of the best things you can do is have ultimate compassion for yourself and get out of the shaming, the self-shaming, the judgment, and know that 5 other billion people or 7 other billion people deal with this same kind of energy on smaller levels and to extreme levels, and some people monstrous levels. So welcome to the human condition. You're not so unique. Have that compassion. Remember to use the more accessible um, parts of you, through the body, through the breath. And I got to wrap this up at 15-minute mark, but that's my advice on dealing with compulsions. And it'll take time, but it takes dedication and remembering to always practice this mindfulness over and over. All right. And it will start to uplift. Diet, exercises, and certain things. That's a whole nother video I can make a part about. But I got to wrap this up. All right. Leave your comments, subscribe. Peace.